I feel like my hair just keeps getting more and more out of control. I haven't had a haircut since... Well, I haven't had a haircut really since I've had my chemo, since I finished my chemo. So yeah, my hair just keeps getting more and more out of control. I've had to try and flatten it because it's crazy. Hey, what's up everyone, Ollie here. So I wanted to go through some of the best investments that I think I've made myself. I think the best thing about these investments that I've made is that anyone and everyone can do them. You don't need any sort of special skills or anything like that to do them. So I thought they would be worth sharing. So the first one is building an audience. Having an audience, having you guys watch me on YouTube, having a blog, having a Twitter, Instagram, just building an audience in general has been so valuable to me, because when it comes to having an audience, I have people to share things with. I have people to sell things to. I have people to work with. It just makes my everyday life so much easier. I found that sharing my work online has just got a lot more eyeballs on it, a lot more exposure to my work. A lot more people have seen it. And because of that, I'm more likely to get work as well, especially when I was doing web design, when I was taking on client work. Because I would make an effort to share my work, to share anything that I had made, people could see that, I could actually make stuff, I could build stuff, I could design stuff, whatever else it may be. So having an audience, building an audience, that's actually one of the first things I ever started doing. And this was way back in 2010 when I was making Android icons and modifying Android apps and things like that. Building an audience has just been so valuable to me, and I continue to do it today because I think it's definitely one of the easiest things that you can invest in. Property. So the house I'm living in right now, I bought it. I have a mortgage on it. I didn't pay for it outright, especially because mortgage rates are so low right now. You are much better off getting a mortgage. If you're someone who doesn't move around a lot, or who is not expected to move around a lot for work or whatever else, you're someone who can stay in one place like I am right now. I've been in this house for nearly 5 years now. I think if you're going to stay somewhere 5 to 10 years, 20 years, whatever, however longer, buying that house makes so much more sense. Buying that property just makes a lot more sense than renting it. Now, I completely understand people who rent, especially because renting does make your life a lot easier in the sense of, you don't have to worry about the building itself. You don't have to worry about things going wrong. The actual landlord will sort all of that out for you. But at the same time, when you pay rent, that money is sort of just going away. It's not actually being invested into anything. When you buy your own property, you are of course responsible for anything that goes on in that house, but because you're actually investing your money into something, the value of that is also going up and your money isn't just disappearing. Property is also a very safe investment for most people. If you're someone who doesn't want to mess around with businesses, with stocks and shares and things like that, property is a good way to do it. Stocks and shares. So over the last few years, I've put in a lot more effort in putting money into stocks and shares. Any leftover money that I have, I just think it makes a lot more sense. If you have money sitting in your bank account that isn't doing anything, any savings and whatever else, it makes a lot of sense right now to put that into stocks and shares, especially because interest rates for savings accounts are so low that it's really not worth it. If you have money in a savings account and you're getting an interest rate of 1% or lower, you're actually losing money technically. For example, you might have 10,000 in savings, but with inflation, unless you're beating inflation, you're actually losing that value. You're losing that money. That 10,000 will not be as powerful as it was, say, 5 to 10 years ago. So I think right now it makes a lot of sense to put them into stocks and shares. I always recommend to anyone who's just getting started in stocks and shares to just invest in very easy ETFs and sort of S&P 500, things like that, because they're just the easiest ones to do and they're always quite safe investments. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Now, this is definitely a very risky investment. I personally though have done really well in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. I've made quite good money from them, and I sort of just have that sitting on the side. The money that I have in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is like 1% of my net worth though, and that is sort of the guideline that a lot of people seem to use, especially a lot of wealthy people. They say it's worth putting 1% of your net worth into cryptocurrencies because it's usually money that you're not going to be tied to too much. If you lose it, you lose it, who cares? But with any sort of Bitcoin, cryptocurrency or anything like that, put in money that you're happy to lose because you just don't know what's going to happen. It could be worth a lot of money tomorrow or it could be worth nothing. But with the way cryptocurrencies are going right now, I think they're going to become much more part of our daily lives, especially when it comes to online. Buying stuff, selling stuff online. I think cryptocurrencies will really start creeping in. My own business, ULX, ulxstore.com. So this is an e-commerce business I started back in 2016 where we design products like desk mats, wallets, backpacks, things like that, and we sell them to whoever is interested. And this business for me has done incredibly well, generating $1 million for me over the last year. I will have a more in-depth video coming for that next month. I plan to do it next month. But yeah, it's been a fantastic Shopify business for me. And I just didn't expect it to be as successful as it is. I kind of just thought, hey, let's just start making my own products because it was something I was interested in, and let's see if it works. And yeah, thankfully it's worked out really well for me. I love running that business, and I actually have a few people working on it. I have 2 full-time employees and a marketing person, and I sort of just oversee that business. I don't run it day to day. I sort of have it running in the background by other people so that I can do stuff like this. And finally, investing in myself, teaching myself skills that will help me run my businesses. So for example, I've learned how to do UI design, UX design, code, marketing, sales, all sorts of stuff. You know, I basically spent a ton of time just learning stuff. I think I spend probably 40 to 50% of my time weekly just learning stuff, whatever it may be. It could be absolutely anything. For example, in the last week, I've been teaching myself about NFTs, how they work, how to make your own NFTs, how to mint them, where to sell them, all this sort of stuff, just stuff that I'm personally passionate about. And I think that's what's really important. Whatever you're passionate about, try and learn as much as you can about it, because then you can teach other people, you can share your knowledge, you can share your skills, and those skills can also apply to other different things, like I did myself with UI design, marketing, code, all these different things. I knew that learning these skills that I'm actually interested in can really help me manage and run other businesses, make other businesses. And you don't just have to learn skills like this. I also mean investing in your mental health, your physical health. These 2 things are going to be very, very important in just doing day-to-day things. So yeah, investing in myself, definitely something worthwhile. And I always recommend to anyone, take care of yourself first before you start doing anything else. Also, if you haven't already, sign up to my newsletter. I have a newsletter where I share stuff. It's not a regular newsletter. It's a newsletter where I share stuff when I feel like it, I'll be honest with you. Mainly because I don't want to force it. I don't want to send rubbish, and I don't want to, just ram emails down your throat constantly. So I have a newsletter called The Manual. I don't know where I got that name from. And usually I share personal stories, personal experiences, business and sort of personal life related. It can be anything really, whatever I think is worth sharing. I also summarize videos and things, and I have a special section called the link lowdown, which I know you guys love because so many of you click on the links in the link lowdown. It's insane. And yeah, it's a good sort of newsletter that I'm sort of trying out, seeing what I can do with it, and sharing more stuff that I don't think can really be shared in, say, like a blog post or a video. Please do let me know if you're enjoying these videos, if you're enjoying this channel. I'm enjoying making these videos because they're fairly easy to make, and it's just me sharing things that I already know with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe for more.